Hello and welcome to the most recent in our series of webinars with Attorneys of America. Today we're going to be discussing immigration and employment law. I'm delighted to be joined by Alfieri. Good afternoon, Alfieri. Alfieri, you're on mute, my friend.
Something amusing's just happened.
Oh, really? What happened?
See how uneasily they nod to me?
No, afraid I can't see what you're looking at, Alfieri.
That's because I am a lawyer.
Well, of course, Alfieri, attorney at law.
In this neighborhood, to meet a lawyer or a priest on the street is unlucky. We're only thought of in connection with disasters, and they'd rather not get too close.
No. For those watching, I should say that Alfieri is based in a lovely office in Red Hook, Brooklyn, other side of the pond, big pond.
I think that behind that suspicious little nod of theirs lie 3,000 years of distrust.
Right, still talking about the nod, yeah.
A lawyer means the law.
It's unequivocal, I think we can say that.
And in Sicily, from where their fathers came, the law has not been a friendly idea since the Greeks were beaten.
Right. No need for introductions. I think you've covered everything. But if we segue into talking about your early career, what is it about your personality that made you want to become a lawyer?
I am inclined to notice the ruins in things.
Right, okay, that's great. And why is that?
Perhaps because I was born in Italy.
I'm not sure I understand the connection, but when did you move?
I only came here when I was 25. In those days, Al Capone, the greatest Carthaginian of all, was learning his trade on these pavements. And Frankie Yale himself was cut precisely in half by a machine gun on the corner of Union Street 2 blocks away.
I hope there aren't too many people who suffered a similar fate.
Oh, there were many here who were justly shot by unjust men.
Blimey.
No, justice is very important here.
I think justice is important everywhere.
But this is Red Hook, not Sicily.
I didn't say it was.
This is the slum that faces the bay on the seaward side of Brooklyn Bridge. This is the gullet of New York, swallowing the tonnage of the world.
You paint a pretty grim picture, Alfieri, I'll give you that.
And now we are quite civilized, quite American. Now we settle for half, and I like it better. I no longer keep a pistol in my filing cabinet.
Brilliant.
And my practice is entirely unromantic. My wife has warned me, so have my friends. They tell me people in this neighborhood lack elegance, glamour.
You should come over to London. It's really quite nice. We can have a coffee and you can answer some of my questions.
After all, who have I dealt with in my life? Longshoremen and their wives and fathers and grandfathers. Compensation cases, evictions, family squabbles.
Oh, I didn't know you dabbled in family law.
The petty troubles of the poor.
It doesn't sound like you particularly enjoy what you do.
And yet, every few years there's still a case. And as the parties tell me what the trouble is, the flat air in my office suddenly washes in with the green scent of the sea, and the dust in the air is blown away. And the thought comes that in some Caesar's year, in Calabria perhaps, or on the cliffs at Syracuse, another lawyer, quite differently dressed, heard the same complaint, and sat there, as powerless as I, and let it run its bloody course.
Do you mind if I ask you to speak in a bit more detail about the facts of that case? Obviously, appreciate the need for anonymity.
This one's name was Eddie Carbone, a longshoreman working the docks from Brooklyn Bridge to the breakwater where the open sea begins.
That's the opposite of anonymous. I think we'll leave it there before I get a knock at the door from the Solicitors Regulation Authority. Join me next week when I'll be speaking with Lionel Hutz about professional conduct. Okay? Thanks.